Next question, please.
Next question.
Next slide, please. Throwback.
Throwback, yeah. Old school.
Where do you look for inspiration as a filmmaker outside of social media?
Oh,
that is so tricky because half my life is spent on social media.
Yeah.
So
does YouTube count as social media?
I think it probably does, yeah. Because I was going to say, what I used to do was go through Vimeo staff picks, but I've got out of the habit of doing it. That was a really good source.
I've ever done that.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. Especially because, I mean, we mostly make like branded content, don't we?
Yeah.
And there's a category just for branded content. So like I could spend 8 hours going through that, but I've got out of the habit of doing it really. But again, that I always say, broadly speaking, that's probably social media.
Or it's like, is social media in this context? Is social media just anything basically that's online? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't listen to me.
No, she didn't.
So we're talking about things like books, films,
things
you see in the world.
Oh, this is a really depressing answer though, because it's like I don't like. I guess
would
film,
say,
but like the thing is, we don't make feature films. We don't make.
But do you never take elements or like things that you've seen that you're like, I would like to incorporate that into more branded content? Because I definitely have done that.
I really would like to say that I do.
Like nothing the way that something's lit.
Maybe, but
again,
because now I'm further and further away from lighting things myself and camera operating, and I'm a bit more of a, well, I get like producer director, so a bit more logistics, and a little bit more like when we're interviewing somebody or doing something that's like a bit more narrative led. Like I'm more thinking about the acting or like how people are behaving on screen rather than like the way things look, because that used to be what I'd watch a film and think, oh, that looks amazing, I'd love to do something like that. Whereas like I feel like the look of our films now, I've really moved away, which I think you've lent into more. Like the more that you do that of like you know, like recent stuff that we've done with like Creed and things like that, it's like I think you're leaning into like the way things look, whereas I think I'm leaning into like the performances a bit more. But yeah, it's probably the thing is I get most of my inspiration is from social media.
But I think
from branded content.
But I think this is and especially that's because where a lot of branded content tends to live. But I think that's why this question is interesting, because for the most part, a lot of branded content and then ends up being quite similar because most people see something online, right? Yeah. So like, there's definitely, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of a recent project that we've done that is, I've had the idea from this. But even things like, again, it might sound wanky, but like being up a hill somewhere and seeing something, or like it tends to be like when your mind goes vacant.
Sure.
You go, I don't know, like there's something, something about being online. Making a conscious decision to look at things to get inspiration and not finding inspiration.
Whereas
like you take yourself away, you remove yourself from it, and then all of a sudden go, I've got a really good idea now.
That's why it's really horrible when you're in a meeting with a client and they ask you to come up with a creative there and then, because it's like,
if you are a client and you're watching, don't do that. It's awful.
It's like, it's never going to work. You're never going to come up with anything good on the spot.
Or even if you do, you be able to come up with something better if you had time to go away and think about it, right?
I'm trying to think of something that I've seen offline recently that I watched and I was like, that looks awesome. I wish I'd done that. Or, and I think not into sports massively, but I think I told you about this, the sort of little pre-match film that they showed before.
It was the Euros final.
Final was awesome. Was so good. I can't remember. I think it was been shown on the BBC.
So it was the BBC, because it was the pair. Was it the parents and friends of all the players from when they were kids?
Yeah. Oh, it was so good. So it used like archive stuff, but also like interviews of. It reminded me a lot of. Have you seen that Oasis documentary or like Supersonic or Amy?
Yeah,
the Amy Winehouse one, where it's really similar concept actually. It's like lots of archive footage and just the voices from you never see the piece to cameras or interviews. So it's a really, really similar kind of format. I just thought it was amazing. Like I say, I'm not a big football fan, not massively patriotic, but like watching it, I was like,
You get,
man,
yeah, no,
this
it
is
was
like
a
got
very
me.
well, it was
It's
a very
great.
well put together piece. Definitely.
Yeah. If the point was supposed to be, you know, the brief must have been to get people to feel something about it before they start watching. I mean, it fucking worked. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something that and to be fair, there's elements of that I think we probably will take and put into our future project. But actually, I think there's things in it that some projects that Jess has worked on recently that I think we already kind of are doing that sort of thing. So
yeah, no, I agree. Like, I think I was going to say, because obviously that was the first time you saw that on telly. Because I didn't see it. I was watching the ITV coverage,
Right,
so I didn't see it. I have since, but I had to go like searching for it online.
Yeah, because I think I came in and said, I think I came in the next day and said, "Did you see it?" And I searched for it online. It hadn't been posted yet, so I imagine it's probably on.
I think I
now.
have seen it since. Oh no, that's fine. I had to rewind iPlayer.
Oh, okay. Oh no, BBC.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, iPlayer.
Yeah. But yeah. Do you watch the telly ads anymore?
No,
Because
I don't have an aerial, so I can't watch live TV. No, I'm genuine.
BBC TV license. No,
I watched it on iPlayer.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah,
and they don't have ads.
Yeah.
So,
No, I mean, I don't tend to watch live telly that often, but let's say when the football's on, obviously that's live, so I tend to watch that.
Sure.
Actually, watching some adverts is weird. I didn't ever think, because normally that's when you go and make a brew or go to the toilet or whatever, but actually getting inspiration from.
Yeah.
I think that's because especially like more major brands have moved into more branded content in terms of a narrative style, rather than just like buy this thing.
I mean, I guess the closest I get to that now is like cinema ads.
Yeah.
Like I love going watching the trailers, but also the adverts that come up but for products, brands before the trailers, like they're the only, apart from the YouTube pre-roll ads, like they're the only opportunity I get to watch like TV ads. And back when I was doing like A-level media studies or whatever, like I wanted to be like a commercial director.
Sure.
So I had a list as long as my arm of like ads that I really, really liked. And it was still like Nike, and it was probably predated like Under Armour and stuff like that I really like now. But like it was definitely like the big kind of sports brands and like early iPod adverts and stuff like that, like I was a big fan of. So it's like, yeah, the opportunity for me to get inspiration from anything that isn't online really is like at the cinema.
I was going to say,
I think that's it.
There are elements offline that I tend to take as inspiration, but like maybe it's just the world that we live in now. Like most of it does seem to be online. Most of it, I know like you watch some of them as well, but like there's quite a lot of filmmaker people on YouTube who have channels themselves who have done things that I will take inspiration from.
That's where
like,
the majority of my inspiration comes from.
You know, there's definitely, I can think of maybe 3 or 4 projects like that I've done. Like we would earlier we talk about spec work that I've done that have been direct inspirations from brand films that these people online have done. So unfortunately, like, well, I say unfortunately, maybe it isn't unfortunately, maybe that is just,
I think it's not, for me, it's not, probably 90 to 95% of my inspiration comes from social media. And if we're including like YouTube and video and stuff like that, then the majority of it comes from that. And I'm not ashamed of that. Where else would I see it? Like I say.
No. I mean, I don't watch many films. Not really a big cinema person, so it's not going to be from that.
But like I said,
I watch a lot of sport, but we do like branded content for
not sport.
So it can't really be from that.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, because I know like obviously a lot of people have a lot of different life experiences that we probably like will draw inspiration from that they don't even like realize.
Well, that's it. Yeah, actually, in reality, we probably draw inspiration from loads of the places that they're not immediately obvious to us. They're way more unconscious than that.
Yeah.
Oh, so deep.
Ooh. It's a good way to end. Deep.